Hi everybody, Michelle Bynan here. I just wanted to take a brief moment to introduce myself and talk a little bit about MG 201, which is Introduction to Management. So basically, this is a survey class. I call it that because you're going to get a lot of information about many managerial topics. There's no one particular concentration. Most of the chapters themselves, if they're called HR or operations management or whatever the case may be, they're whole majors in and of themselves. So what you're going to get in this class is a smattering of information about many managerial topics. Hopefully one of them will click with you if you haven't decided to major in something across the board. But I can tell from the introductions for the class that many of you have already decided your major. So I think that that's, like I said, it's a good basic foundation class. There are probably some of you who will take maybe level 2 and level 3 classes in this, depending upon your various majors. And I wish you luck with them. So hopefully you'll have some good information going into them, where some of the concepts and terminology and the vocabulary will have been covered in this class. Basically, the way I structure the class is that every week you have readings. We do cover the majority of the Kinnicky book. It's pretty well written. I found it. I've used it about 3 times in the past, so it does give a nice foundation to the class. I don't necessarily go in order, so you'll see that I do cluster some things by topic. The class is definitely front end loaded, so between weeks 1 and 5, you have a lot of more hard core content, and then towards the end it's more I don't say necessarily softer, but it's different. You'll notice the difference in the classroom structure. Generally speaking, it's 2 to 3 chapters per week. We do deal with a compressed schedule due to the fact that we're covering a 15 weeks semester in an 8-week period. So I can stress and stress again and stress once again, keep up. Do the work, do the reading, and try to maintain a nice pace with the classwork. We're off to a great start. Your introductions were great, on point. We have students who are just starting out, those who are returning. We have parents. We have parents of young children, and parents who, like myself, have kids going off into college. We have some people who are just starting out in their academic career, and people who are returning back to school, which is great. We also have some career changers in the midst, which is a nice blend of people. What that does is that gives a lot of ability to have rich content in the class, because there's all different levels of experience that is happening in the classroom. The classroom, as I put it, is the discussion board. That should be a very lively center. Probably about 6 of the 8 weeks there will be discussion board content. Every once in a while I back off from that. I give you a chance to do other work, other reading, maybe give you information about your project work, or have you do a quiz. So just to get that out of the way, I do 2 or 3 of those during the course of the semester. They are based upon usually the last 2 to 3 weeks that are covered. So nothing is cumulative. I don't zing you at the end with having to just go back to the whole book or anything like that. All assessments are open book. And I'm going to use automatic grading for the first time this year, so hopefully that'll work, and I'll be able to get grades back to folks a little faster. We do have a large class this semester, which is great, because I expect that there's a lot of good sharing that will happen. Regarding the discussion boards, please take advantage of the fact that this is the opportunity and replaces what would normally be classroom dialogue. It provides an opportunity for you to respond back and forth to fellow classmates and find out some of their experience. Now, for those of you who had the opportunity to do the 10 traits writing and talk about your bad bosses and your good bosses, for those of you who have had the joy of having a good manager or a good boss, it makes the work experience far more rewarding, and I think it creates an environment where you want to give back to that person. It's something to think about when you get the chance, if you do get the chance or the desire to be a manager yourself, how you'll behave with people. I didn't tell my story because I didn't want to flavor anybody's experience, but I've had some fabulous bosses and a couple of just I don't know what the word, the appropriate professional word would be to say, but they were tough to deal with. Let's put it that way. So I felt for those people as I read your summaries about having had bad bosses, and most of the time it's just some people are flawed in human beings, and that they bring that with them, and also we suffer from a lack of training in the management skill set. Many people think that it's a natural skill set, and for some folks it is. I think that some people just have a built-in leadership style and a capacity, and others can become very viable and good managers if they have some training behind them. And one of the things that has happened in American industry is that we've cut back on budgets and a lot of development of management and managers. So it's usually too late and too little that they get the kind of training that they need. I know in my profession, a lot of people wind up being technically proficient, and then they say, okay, let's make them managers, and sometimes they're the worst managers that you can imagine. So a little bit, just a little bit of understanding about where that come from. I hope you all enjoyed the Cynic Great Leaders video and the why. I think that is it's a pretty recent video. It's gotten a lot of play and a lot of support. He's actually has a couple of other YouTubes out there. I think they're mainly TED Talks that he provides some other insights in the business sector. Any type of, you get the opportunity to expand your own knowledge and understanding of industry by viewing those types of content. Take advantage of that. One thing that I do is, and I will continue to do, is I will continue to provide you with a high-level PowerPoint of each of the chapters. This should not replace you reading the book. They're there to help you through with some high-level organization of what's included in the chapters, but they're not a replacement for the very, very robust information that Kinnicky and his crew do provide about management content. So just a little bit about the first week. Like I said, I think we're off to a good start. I periodically will do some recaps of information to ensure that things that are really important have a little bit more dialogue around those. So let me know if these videos help. Let me know if you want to hear anything. I can certainly come up with a dialogue about any topics that you feel as though need a little bit more shoring up from what you will get from just reading and just the content. So for this week, we covered chapters 1 and 2. I'm going to do a little bit of a wrap up in another video, but I just wanted to say hello to everybody and say I think we're off to a great start, and looking forward to continuing the conversation and the learning experience together. I learn as much as you do when I have the exposure to your dialogues back and forth. Some folks have been very good about getting back to me about questions and clarifications. When they come to me with this, I have been sending it out in an email to the group and also covering it in an announcement. So please check the announcement section of the Blackboard and look to your email. You should be coming to the Blackboard 3 to 4 times a week. Number one, it's going to take you that long to dialogue back and forth in the discussion boards between posting your original content and replying back to your classmates. So take that opportunity and make sure that you embrace that information. It's good stuff. I do keep track of whether or not you submit and how you respond, and that becomes the attendance component of the class. Okay, if you have any more questions, just please continue to reach out. It's very helpful to me. I continue to grow and to clarify, and it also helps your classmates. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.